Early this week, Russian forces launched a missile strike into the Ukrainian city of Kharkiv. It hit a multi-story apartment building, killing 2 people and injuring more than 20 others. Kharkiv officials blamed Russia. Moscow denied responsibility, as it usually does. That's the event. But this wasn't just another missile strike on a border city. It was Russia quietly signaling that it can't move this war forward the way it planned. When armies stall, they don't stop fighting. They substitute. Ground maneuvers give way to firepower, and when firepower can't break defenses, pressure gets redirected to whatever is cheapest, safest, and hardest to defend. So, that's why this happened in Kharkiv. The city sits close enough to the Russian border to strike without committing ground forces or risking aircraft deep over Ukraine. No breakthrough required. Just launch, deny, and move on. Yes, the missile hit a civilian building, and yes, people were killed and injured. It sounds cold, I know, and I apologize for that, but the building itself isn't the point. The timing is. This happens now because Ukraine is already operating near its limits after months of grinding defense. Emergency services are stretched thin, hospitals are running close to capacity, and every new strike forces Kyiv to pull people, equipment, and attention from elsewhere, resources that were barely holding together to begin with. One missile doesn't just cause damage, it ties up rescue crews, it absorbs medical capacity, it pulls focus away from the front. None of that is quickly replaceable, and all of it compounds over time. Russia understands this. The cost to Moscow is minimal. Missiles are launched from a distance, denials come automatically, and diplomatic outrage flares briefly before attention shifts elsewhere. There's no lasting penalty when the world is already distracted. And that's the imbalance that defines this phase of the war. Ukraine pays in people, time, and flexibility. Russia pays with missiles it had already set aside to use. This looks small on the map. In reality, it forces Kharkiv to divert people and equipment just to stay functional, reduces Ukraine's ability to shift resources where they're needed most, and steadily erodes the sense that any part of the country is truly behind the lines. This isn't for show, it's deliberate, it's leverage. Russia is fighting the war it can still afford, not the war it wants to fight, and betting that sustained pressure breaks Ukraine before the battlefield does. So if this is what pressure looks like when movement fails, the real question isn't whether it continues, because it obviously will. It's where it shows up next. A scary thought for civilians living near the border.